You're listening to Engage Williston, a Williston Area Chamber of Commerce podcast, brought to you by the Leadership Williston Class of 2025. Your hosts are Diane Schmidt, Megan Liss, and Carmen Delaney.
Engage Williston is brought to you by Western Cooperative Credit Union. You can visit their website at wccu.org. Join the herd. Hello and welcome to another edition. This is Diane. I have Carmen with me hosting. Meg is out sick. Our guest today is Krystal Dahl. Welcome, Krystal.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So why don't we start off with, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Krystal?
I love that question. I am originally from Williston, born and raised. So I went throughout elementary and high school here, left for about 6 years, moved to Fargo, went to NDSU. I met my husband in college, and then we moved back, and I've been here ever since. I'm a HR benefits journalist at Western Cooperative Credit Union. My mom also owns a local dance studio in town, so I've been teaching and choreographing there for, I don't even want to count how many years. It's been a long time. So I do that in my free time, and we have a 5-year-old that's just getting into hockey, so we're hockey parents now and hitting the ground running with that, so... Yeah.
There's a lot of gear involved with that, right?
There is. The 5-year-old knows how to put it on better than I do, but yeah, it's like a 15-minute process.
Oh my gosh.
It is. It's intense. And if you forget one thing, you got to take it off and start all over.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. He has fun and he likes it. So
that is fun.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you and your husband met in college and then moved back home. Is Williston home for him too?
He's from northern Minnesota.
Okay, so you were like, you're coming home to Williston.
You know, actually, it was his idea.
Really?
Yes. So he's about equal distance into Minnesota as we are into North Dakota. So hunting, fishing, he was very into all of that. And he wanted to stay around that. And actually, I had quite a few friends from high school that were also at NDSU, and he became very good friends with them as well. So he was like, well, let's go back home to North Dakota. And the oil was booming at that point in time. And we were both like, we don't know what we want to do yet. So only planned on staying here a couple years. I know people say that all the time.
I didn't know that Williston natives said that, though, too.
Yeah. I think the reason that kind of came about is my senior year of college, I interned in China for 6 weeks. And I was very much so, yeah, it was very fun.
Where in China?
Shanghai.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
That's
I did
really
not know that.
Yeah, I went to school for interior design. Actually, I got my undergrad for interior design. And they had a program. We had some alumni over there that worked for an architecture and interior design firm. And they were like, come over. And couldn't turn it down. So then I kind of got the travel bug and like the city itch and really kind of wanted to be in a city for a while. And I figured, well, if we're young, now's the time to do it. But didn't have any plans to work anywhere or anything. And then we ended up back here and it was like, we'll stay here for a year or so and make some money and get our feet under us. And that was like 10 years ago now.
Wild. I feel like we've had Williston natives for the past.
That, yes.
Yeah, but like I want to say like our past 5 or 6 guests have been born and raised in Williston. Mm-hmm. Everyone at some point leaves for a little bit.
Yes.
And then they come back. That's so interesting to me. Why do you think that is? Do you have any theories?
I never had any interest in staying here. I was very much interested in city life, and I like being around different cultures, and I think it keeps my creative mind just going. And I always felt a little stifled by that here when I was younger, at least. But as you grow, your priorities change, and it's really important for me to be around family. And I didn't realize that when I was younger. But after college, coming back and realizing that support system, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. And then you also really take different things into consideration, like traffic,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
the weather, just like how people act to you on the street. So those things became more important to me than, just exploring different things. You can always travel and do different things, right? But having a good home base, even when I go on vacation now, I'm like, okay, it's time to go home. Williston is a good place to be. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to visit and experience different cultures, different foods, things like that. But coming home and having that support system, being able to do date night, not have to worry about a babysitter that you trust.
Yes.
That's
It's so true. Yeah.
That's hard to find.
Yes. And you don't realize it until you don't have it. So I'm very thankful we haven't had to experience that. But yeah, happy with our decision. We love it here. We love this side of the state, and there's a lot to offer for both of us. So yeah.
That's great.
And I think you get to experience that too, right? You get to watch how much the town has grown from when you were in high school till now.
Yes.
And even like different cultures that have come in. I think that has probably changed significantly since then as well.
It's so nice to see the community grow as well. My parents are from here as well, and even them just being exposed to, they're an older generation, so them being exposed to different people coming in and how much they've changed too, because I got a little taste of it in college and traveling. They were pretty anti-traveling more than out of the Midwest, and they've really expanded that too. So even seeing my parents kind of grow that way, it's like, it's a pretty cool thing. And it's a good thing to have that diversity in your life. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has. Williston draws people from all over the world. And it is amazing, though. Like, there are people who come here for oil fields specifically. There are people who come here for family. And for whatever reason, that plan seems to usually have a timeline that people break.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very common thing. So that's really interesting. Yeah. Cool. So I know it was really interesting. We were really excited to talk to you about like HR stuff. So tell us a little bit. What does your day-to-day look like working in human resources for WCCU? Like what kind of things maybe would surprise people about your work?
So I'll give you a little bit of background on my HR background. I actually came into it by chance, moving back from college. An oil field company had an opening for an HR position, and I was like, I have no idea what this is. I just graduated with an interior design major.
And went to China.
Yep. Sure, let's try it. And they were great. They introduced me into the field. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea benefits and compensation and things like that influenced people as much as they did. And I really kind of, not to sound too cliche, kind of fell in love with it because I do like working with people, and I like the people aspect more than there's different parts of HR that you can get into, labor law and, writing policies and procedures and things like that. And I would say that my favorite part would probably be the human, dealing with people sort of sector of that. And I would say at the credit union, that is a majority of what I do from day to day. There's a lot of administrative work, it's open enrollment time right now for benefits and things like that. So paperwork and everything that goes with that. But getting people into a different career field and showing them what our financial is all about. And letting them know that we're part of the community in a good way. So luckily we have a really good group of employees. So I don't see a whole lot of I would say more of the not fun side of HR.
Right.
I won't mention the words, but yeah, so we don't see a whole lot of that. So, getting people acclimated with their career, how their benefits go into their compensation, all of those things that ultimately boost their lifestyle and what their personal goals are. So that's the thing that I enjoy the most. And I would say, there's paperwork in any job that you have to do. So there is some admin, but dealing with the people on a day-to-day basis is my favorite part of it. That's the thing that I enjoy the most. So
yeah, and you were saying too, like those benefit packages and compensation beyond just financial is so important too. Can you speak to that about like what you see incentivizes certain labor forces versus others? Like what would you say attracts like someone from a different generation versus another, like a WCCU specifically?
I've just kind of gained a little bit of insight in that over the past, 10 years or so. And I'll just say in generalizations, usually the younger generation is more about like a dollar amount, a compensation amount. But I found that, as myself included, as you get older, health benefits are really important. You're paying how much to go towards my health and dental and vision, and I don't have to pay that out of pocket. 401k matching is a huge thing. Yeah. And you don't realize that until you actually start
thinking about your future.
Yes.
And your health and your family. And
for sure. And it affects all of that. And it's hard to put that into a realization until you lay it all out in front of you. Like, this eventually is going to happen. You are going to retire. You are going to have to use your medical benefits at some point in time. And trying to prepare people for kind of that. It's a little bit of a tough conversation.
It is.
So I would say that that's generally how it goes. And I think once people start to see the value in that, and it's not necessarily money that you can put in your pocket or, go spend at a store, but it does have value later on in life. And it is important to kind of keep track of that a little bit, even from a young age. So,
yeah. So what advice would you give to, people that are getting into the workforce who still, you qualify to still be on your parents' insurance until you're 25, 26? 26, unless you're married, correct?
Right.
So what advice would you give to them as far as that goes from like a HR perspective?
If I could listen to my own advice from when I was younger, it would be to, put money into a 401k or, luckily at the credit union, we're lucky enough to have an HSA. Medical expenses aren't going away.
No.
You're going to use those as you get older. So putting money away like that, or even, and I should listen to my own advice too, but learning how to invest money a little bit, so you can use those funds later instead of really just worrying about that baseline dollar amount that you take home. While it is important, we all have to live day to day. We all have to afford groceries and gas and all the things. It makes it a little bit easier as you get older if you're like, okay, I have this set aside. I don't have to worry about this so much. And then a big bill comes up and you're like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about that. So I can use, X amount of funds for whatever's coming up. So that would be my advice. Of course, you always want people to save, but it's tough. It's tough, especially in this economy too. It's a tough thing to do. And,
there was this figure that I heard years ago, and I'm sure it's probably just worse today, where it said like the majority of Americans can't afford like a $500 surprise bill. And that is like such a big deal. And I remember I took because in order to kind of help my family feel better about me switching to a music degree, I minored in business too, to be like, oh look, I'm gonna be like a smart musician, a business savvy musician. But I remember my personal financial management class, they really pushed this idea that the earlier you start a 401k, a Roth IRA, any of these accounts to save money for your future, they emphasize the earlier you do it, the better
it is.
The better your compound interest will be and everything. So,
well, because I think people forget or maybe don't know that you can roll those over and you can take them with you when you go. It doesn't have to, you don't have to cash them out. You can roll them over to your next employer. You can roll them over to your own and then invest them that way. It's not, you just lose it. So I think that's where that education comes into play.
Yeah. And it's probably a lot different. People, generations prior had pensions. We viewed work differently. And so now we have 401ks and IRAs to kind of help us have that in place of it. So how would you kind of like explain that shift?
I think it's just a generational shift. I think companies stopped offering that, but they still see the value in it. So they, do the matching with the 401, at least any company that I've been a part of or have family that's been a part of that. Luckily, we've been around companies that are still really invested in employees' future as well. So that's good. But I have heard the opposite as well. Like they don't offer that. And they kind of just look at that baseline compensation as here's the money, you take and do with it what you will.
Yeah. It's up to you to invest it.
Right. Yeah. Which is tough because it's really hard to get that in your account and say, okay, well, I really want this, or I really want to save for this big purchase, or, you know, you have a surprise bill that comes up. It's hard to rationalize, do I spend it on this or do I save it for a time when I maybe don't need it right now? Right. It's difficult. It's a hard conversation for everybody. And I think I don't know if it's coming from the schools or if it's coming from parents talking to their kids more about it, but I think the younger generation now, at least some of the high school and, you know, freshly out of high school, they understand that more than I think I did when I was out of, like, you know, right out of high school, the importance of saving and 401, and maybe social media has an effect on that too. There's more chatter about that online, and how important it is, and really kind of how easy it is to set it up. So hopefully we only have a small gap of, you know, 10, 15 year generation where they're not saving as much, and the younger generation coming up will see the importance in that as well. Because I think employers, at least employers around here that I know of, put a big emphasis on those things, which I think is a great thing to incentivize people.
Because there was some talk that, you know, when we get as old as our parents to collect Social Security, it may not be around, right? So there was a really big emphasis on preparing for your future, but there is such a small amount of employers who even offer a pension. So
that's so true.
I mean, we're fortunate that our employer does offer a pension. My husband's employer does also offer a pension as well as a 401k. So we're very fortunate for our employer, Western Cooperative, who does offer both.
Right.
Yeah. And if you are listening to this and you've thought about maybe setting up a 401k or an account like that for yourself, maybe use this as your sign to do it. Because seriously, like we would do the math, and like it was like, okay, how much would this person have for their retirement if they had started 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier? And seeing that, like,
it's mind-blowing.
The amount, I was like, wow, this person really lost out on tens of thousands of dollars that they could have had. Like,
and you don't have to do anything, right? No. It just sits there and compounds over years.
Well, and you can have it done pre or post-tax, and that depends on whether you want taxes taken out when you pull it versus not. So there's just so many different options.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe you both can speak to this. Can they come speak to an advisor if they want to set one up at WCCU?
We don't have 401ks at WCCU. Those are more employer based.
I see. Yeah,
so most employers have that set up. There are other organizations that do have that. Unfortunately, we do not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not very good at setting up that stuff. I can explain our benefits, but anything from the ground up, it would be better to have a professional.
Fair enough. All right. Well, and it's, so my previous jobs that I was working in Vermont, one of them actually I was working in DEI, which is not related to, I didn't think it was very related to HR, but we were kind of adjacent to HR. So we worked really closely with them. And we had a gal who went on leave for a while. And so they asked for me to kind of step in and do the HR admin stuff. And I was like, kind of like you. I was like, I don't have any experience in this. I was like, but I'm interested in seeing how I can help. And I definitely was on like the less happy side of HR. Process the T words, the terminations and stuff. Yeah. And it was a large organization, like 1,500 employees. So I definitely had a lot that I had
they're
to do.
Very cut and dry policies. Like they're just very black and white.
Oh, absolutely. And so I would process those. But even stuff like I would process like the CPR cards and stuff. Like there's a lot that goes into HR. And so the department was very robust. So it was very fascinating to me. So that's cool that you get to be on like the happier side of like the more human element of it rather than the
I try to convince Krystal every time we're in interviews that she should come see at the life of a teller so she can kind of see what it all involves. And she always tells me no.
I would be terrible at that. They have so much responsibility, and money and me and math is not a great
She's always like, no, it's not going to happen.
I'll be the first person to tell anybody that I'm terrible with math and numbers and not my forte.
You like, give me the soft skills, give me the people. Don't give me the hard, cold numbers.
She's like, no.
Something
never.
I can double check. No way.
But wouldn't it be fun to hold that money and be like, oh,
I would
bands,
sweat.
bands,
Yeah,
bands.
that's what she said. She's like, no, I don't want to be responsible for that at all.
No.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
fair.
that makes me nervous, but
Oh my gosh. Cool
Yeah.
though. That's so, and so how long has your HR career been then, you were saying?
so I started in about 2013, I want to say, and was with a couple oil field companies. And before I came to Western Cooperative, just recently last year, actually completed my master's degree in HR. So it's been about 10 years, I would say. So while I don't have an undergrad in HR, and that was not something, I didn't even know that was a thing when I was in college.
Wow.
I
had never even heard of
as a
it.
degree. No.
So, yeah, it kind of fell into my lap by chance, and I was really fortunate for the company that I started out with. They were like, okay, we'll just take baby steps and teach you about one thing at a time and kind of get your feet wet. And I was like, am I admin? I don't understand I just don't understand. But they were really great about doing it. And then went to another oil field company, and they had really experienced HR people that kind of let me go into the learning and development area of HR, which I really, really enjoy. I really enjoy teaching dance, so I feel like it kind of all culminates together. Yeah, I like teaching. I like seeing people, use their knowledge and, gain different things for themselves. So learning and development, if I had my optimal position in HR, it would be learning and development, because I really do enjoy like the training and development side of that and everything that goes in with it and that type of thing. But so it's been about 10 years, and there's something new every day. It's never the same thing. It might not be everyone's most exciting career field. And, I feel like, unfortunately, in Williston, HR and safety have a bad rap. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, sometimes.
But they're important. And I think it affects people whether they realize it or not in their daily jobs. So, yeah, I enjoy it.
So let's shift gears. And you are also involved in organizations also out in the community, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk a little bit about those?
This dance stuff.
So my mom has been a local studio owner. I believe she's going on year 38.
Wow.
So she's been doing it for a long time. She's great at it. She's got more patience than anyone I know with kids and adults, I would say. So I've been teaching since I was in high school. Took a little break for college. Actually, I taught while I was in college, but just on breaks and stuff. So I've been involved with the studio for a really long time and kind of helping her out. And they do a lot of things in the community. We try to dance for Relay for Life every year. We have a competition group that we try to get involved in different things, volunteering for different organizations. We've volunteered for Mondac before. I know they've done different things around the community. Of course, nothing's coming to mind right now, but every year we try to do something. I know Relay for Life is a big thing that we dance for. We dance for Juneteenth in the park.
Nice.
So it's good to get the youth involved with things like that, and then they see that the importance of those things in the community as well from a young age. And it's good for the community to see us too and see youth involved with things going around in the community. So I really do love it. It's always a work in progress every year. You see different kids coming through and shuffling through, and you get some that are so passionate about it and they really fall in love with it. And it's so great to see kids involved in something that they really love. It's a different, you can't even explain it to anybody. It's very rewarding. And I think that translates into adulthood. I always joke with my girls because I say, all of the different activities in high school want dancers in their activities because you guys know how to prioritize your time.
Yes.
You have good grade. You have to have good grades to be in dance, and they need that for their sports. So don't leave us to go do sports, but it's also a good option too. Like, we want everybody to be well-rounded, and if you want to play volleyball as well, you should try and play volleyball. So it's so good to see that, and it gives them confidence. You have to be on stage and you have a panel of judges sitting there judging you. It's nerve-wracking.
That is so nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I tell them all the time, I don't think I could do it now as an adult. I don't think I could put myself out there, in costume and glam and, hey, what do I need to fix? Like, judge me and then rank me against all these other dancers. It's a hard thing to realize, but I think it gives them the confidence that they can do things and that they can, improve, or, maybe the weight of that comment really doesn't need to be taken to heart. It's just a sport. It's okay.
There's so much, living life experience that you can gain just from any of that. And it is cool because I know you've got you have an artistic side as well with your interior design and the athletics with dance. I feel like dance really is kind of like you're putting art and sports together, basically, which is really cool. So, I mean, when you're talking about the adjudication stuff, I'm thinking as a musician, like, that was really nerve-wracking in high school, be in a band and have judges say, you guys didn't sound so good here.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to fix this. And you're listening back to judges' comments and you're like,
I worked so hard on that.
Right.
So crushing.
Or when they said a good comment, though, you're like,
And you remember
We're
that
awesome.
forever.
Yeah.
And it, there's not a lot of, the dancers don't get up on stage and talk. But we've tried to incorporate that into some of our recitals where they have to introduce themselves. And they're not crazy about it, but I think that that's important for kids to start to do. You might not do that every day in your life going forward, but to have the confidence to get up and do something like that is really big. And we do fundraisers. We just ended a really big wreath fundraiser, and a lot of the dancers went out into the community and talked to businesses and different individuals and asked if they wanted to buy wreaths for Christmas. So, that itself is a confidence boost as well. They need to converse with people. That's going to be part of their lives moving forward. So it's really, really nice to see that from such a young age, having them build their confidence up, even through dance and social skills and traveling and just putting yourself out there. It's a hard thing to teach, and it's a hard thing for some kids to just go through and do, but it's so rewarding to see at the end how much a person like blossoms. You're like, wow, you used to be this shy kid that wouldn't leave mom and dad's side, and now like you're out in the middle of a stage with bright lights on you, and there's hundreds of people watching you. So it's really cool to see.
That's so cool. And it's learning to be a part of a team too, right? Because usually, I mean, there's probably solos too, but usually they're kind of in group setting. Yeah. That's a big deal too.
Yeah. I feel like it's a sport that maybe doesn't get enough credit where it's due. It's kind of in its own realm of, I don't even know if you can call it a sport. They don't actually define it as a sport. I mean, I'm thinking Olympic wise, like they don't define it as a sport, but it definitely is a sport, and it's a lot of athleticism and strength. And
is it defined as like an art form, or?
I think it's more of an art. Yeah. I don't even know if they have a definition for it, but it's getting more popular. I think social media has helped with that and gained a little bit of exposure with that. And there's different areas that you can get into with dance. You have drill, more with the school system, or you have studio dance, you have ballet, you have theater, you have Broadway, all the different things. But they all have the same end goal, right? Like they're all building people up and giving art to athletes, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
And I feel like you have to have like a certain level of like body awareness to do that.
And core strength. Like I'm just
dancers are strong. Super strong. It should be like a sport. Like I was on like the golf team in high school, and like people be like, that's not a sport. I'm like, well, technically it is classified as a sport,
Yes,
but I agree. It's not like, it wasn't like when I was playing basketball and like running up and down it didn't feel like it's
disagree.
definitely coordinated and
Golf's
stuff.
a sport.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It is difficult.
I never really understood how to do golf. I could drive the cart. Like I'm driving that cart all day long.
And that was the thing. that was the sport part in high school, is that we had to carry our bag. And growing up in Las Vegas in the triple degree heat, I'll tell you, that was a feat.
And not pass out from the heat. And remember to drink water.
Yeah. So, no, I think I agree. Dance should definitely be considered a sport.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't get the credit that it deserves. And I'm not knocking any other sport, but they have their after school, couple hour practice, 2-3 days a week. And it's grueling too. I'm finding hockey has a lot of dedicated time and, weight training and skating and, all of the things that go into it. But dance is a different beast as well. A lot of our dancers are in the studio 8-9 hours a week. And that might just be for group songs. And then, they dedicate extra time to solos and duos and any extras that they put into that. And their parents too, they have to have somebody to run them to and from to make sure that they're practicing, to put in the time and effort and money that it costs to perform all of these things. And they have to have good grades on top of it. We keep track of grades for lettering for school. So I just don't think it quite gets the credit that they deserve, because it is a lot of hard work and it is a lot of dedication, and you don't see it unless you're in it. And of course that would be with any sport. You don't see it, but really you just see that 2-minute performance once they get on, and it's like, okay, that was great. And it's like, no, that took them about 8 months.
Right. Because they make it look so easy and so flawless and just like, oh.
Yes.
Couldn't be me.
I would be falling. Face first.
Yeah. I know I had a lot of respect for the dancers, and I feel like it's interesting because I feel like it was adjacent to music. Like the dance troupe would always be part of like our musicals, and they'd be part of like the football games. Like the pep band would be playing, the cheerleaders and the dance team. Like it was always very like we were aware of each other. Like I definitely had mad respect for the dancers in high school. So
I wish we had the opportunity to do it here, and maybe we just haven't looked into it enough. But when dancers get to perform with a live orchestra, I would love to do that. I think it's so cool.
I would love to do that too, especially like the Nutcracker or like some really awesome ballets that people love and would love to see, like the community, like Harmonic Creative World or something coming together with like, I think that would be awesome.
Well, the funny part is when I found out Krystal is an instructor, I'm like, we should have a dance off with other financials. She's like, no.
She's like, I will only use my dance for good, not for dance off.
I'm like, come on, that would be fun. We can have like a fundraiser. She's like, absolutely not.
I would totally pay to see that. Just to,
I thought it would be fun. She's like, no.
Yeah, not my forte. No way.
She's like, I have to get on the stage. No.
Nope.
I'm not a dancer, but I have been known to get up for the dance-offs for the tiebreakers for Name That Tune. Becca Johnson actually took a video of me once, and I was
she was good, huh?
No, it wasn't. But I won. I win, but I think it's mainly because, anyway, this is such a sidebar. We have like a rival team at Name That Tune, and so when the two of us are up there, I think people just are tired of seeing our rival team win, that they just
wanted you to win.
They want me to win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Becca's one of our dance moms. I might have to ask her for that video.
No, she will show it to you.
She will show it. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Too funny. Yeah, she was a previous guest on here too. We chatted with her. Yeah. Another Williston native.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we've had. I can't even think of the last transplant we've had.
I can't either. Yeah, the last 4 or 5 have been Williston natives.
Yeah. You guys are a really cool crew, truly.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I think the first group was all transplants,
Yeah.
and now we're all Williston natives.
Because it was all the Leadership Williston people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then everyone else we've talked to since has been a Williston native.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to hear that people are sticking around here. That's That's what we need. We need the good people to stay.
Yeah. I mean, I think Williston is a great community to live and raise your kids and build a home. Like there's
really
so much opportunity and so much growth happening right now.
And what is the name of the studio that your mom runs?
Elizabeth's Dance Expressions.
Elizabeth's Dance Expressions. That's right. Yeah. And like, there's so many things like that. Like I know, my brother is, getting my nephews enrolled in like wrestling and they're in soccer, and I'm sure, you know, maybe they'd want to be part of like dance or something like that. Like there's something for everyone here. Like it is really family oriented and just really, really wonderful community.
Yeah, it is what you make it, right? If you want to step out and try new things, there's opportunity. If you don't, you don't have to.
Anybody who says there's nothing to do in Williston is not paying attention.
Not looking hard enough, right?
Yeah.
And if you've been lucky enough to be here, you know, the past 10, 12 years, you've seen the community expand in different ways. I know our soccer program has really gained traction here. Hockey, I know hockey is huge. We've had it for a while, but hockey is, I think last time I heard we have close to 500 kids in hockey.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I think the drama club at the high school has really gained a lot of new kids and, you know, I think band and choir as well. So it's good to see those arts really flourishing and people taking an interest in different types of sports than we've had in the past. And it's good to see that. It's really nice to see the diversity that Williston's kind of finally coming around to. And I think that helps with other people coming in and being like, no, these are important things. Let's focus on these things as well as, you know, the base sports that we've had for a long time throughout the community too. So
yeah, my son just had his band performance and they had to have it at the high school because there were so many kids. For 6th, 7th, and 8th. It was ginormous.
Right. I was getting pictures from the band director.
I don't even remember how many. It was so many.
I think she was saying like 150 plus.
It was like 6 or 7. It was the largest since like 2017, 2018.
There was like 150 chairs on the stage, right? Because they would have the bands come in. And
so the band and then orchestra was separate. It was huge. I was like, oh my gosh. Like it was like standing room only to watch them perform.
So orchestra. Okay. I don't think they had that when I was in high school. So that's like a new thing too.
Oh, like they only had winds when you're in high school.
Yep.
No strings.
Nope. Not that I know of. I think strings was like you would take like private lessons. I'm nothing that I'm aware of. That's so cool.
Yeah. I know the middle school string program, Mrs. Westfall has done a great job.
Yeah, it was, and they sounded so amazing.
Wow.
Like from when my daughter to my son, they just, it was such a difference. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it was really nice to see the difference from one to the other and how much it's grown.
That takes a lot of dedication too, practicing time and performance and all of that as well.
They play different instruments. So I'm like, great, we got a new instrument. Okay, so one plays the flute, one plays the trombone. And I'm like, okay, how did you guys pick these instruments? Because I never played an instrument. My husband didn't either, so.
I definitely leaned towards the flute when I was growing up based on the size of the case that I had to carry around. I saw like the saxophonist and like the tubas with their case, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna play the flute.
Yeah, that trombone case is almost as big as my son's.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, everything that you were saying, Krystal, about what you tell your dance kids about, you know, all of these life skills that are gonna follow them, like that's exactly like what our band directors would tell us growing up too. Is like, these colleges, they want to see that you are a musician because it shows that you have the discipline to learn an instrument. It shows that you have the dedication to show up to your rehearsals. It shows that you can
your
work
commitment.
with and that you can work well with others and you can be adaptable to what's going on. So it is all of these extracurriculars.
Yes.
Is there any other things that you do out in the community?
So I was just recently completed my tenure on the chamber board.
Yeah.
So I was with them for 4 years, and that was really good to see, you know, things that were going on in the community. I just come on, you know, right after COVID had started, and everything was kind of very chill, and there wasn't a whole lot going on, not a lot of events. And now we're ramped back up, and you guys are crazy busy.
And we're trying to pare down on events.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. So like you said, if somebody complains there's nothing going on in the community, they're not looking hard enough because there is a lot going on. So yeah, just completed that, and that was very fun. I met a lot of really, really cool people, a lot of people doing cool things with their lives, cool things in the community, very interesting, smart people. So it was very cool to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
So I
you,
guess it's
for
time
being
for
our
a
chamber
question.
board. Did you think of one?
I did think of one.
Okay. We don't have Meg. She
I know we don't
usually
have
has that
Meg.
list.
She usually has our list. So I'm just going to go off the top of my head.
Okay.
What dance move best describes you?
Oh boy.
Oh, that's a good one. Right off the dome, Diane.
Yes.
Nice.
Man, I was so sidetracked with telling you not to make it be about a sport so I wouldn't look silly that now I'm I'm
Right.
like, oh no.
Diane totally found a wraparound.
I don't know if I have a specific move. I would say that I'm still somewhat flexible, so I can maybe, I don't want to say the splits, but I can still do the splits, which I
That's
whip that out
amazing.
every once in a while, and the girls are like, what? Are you going to be able to get off the floor? And I'm like,
Is that a dance move? What dance move?
It's like probably like a skill.
I would say it's more of a skill.
Kind of the way with like drums when they do paradiddles. Like they're not going to do a paradiddle for performance, but they'll practice the heck out of those.
Yeah. I would say I'm not much of a turner anymore. Pirouettes used to be my thing when I was younger. I used to be able to turn, and I don't think I could probably do that anymore.
What is that?
It's a spin.
Like the one where you just like go fast? Like
Yeah. Yep.
You're going to have to tell me like super layman terms.
Of pirouettes. You know, I was never much of a ballerina. We didn't have a whole lot of ballet growing up. It's kind of come within our studio within probably the past 15 years or so.
What about like a modern dance move? Would that be helpful? Like a modern, like a Running Man, Roger Rabbit, things like that.
A T-step.
Oh, you're looking, okay.
Is that more helpful?
No.
Now we just have a wider array of dance moves.
So those type of dance moves, I always feel really silly. So at weddings and, you know, when we're at events, my husband really likes to get on the dance floor, and he's like, you're a dancer. You should be out here dancing with us. I'm like, yeah, but I dance to choreographed moves. I feel very awkward standing in the middle of wedding dance.
Doing your
busting
choreographic
a
moves.
Yeah, like I'm like, I have nothing prepared for this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my hands. So I would say that like Running Man, anything like that, that's something I'd probably bust out at a wedding when I have nothing else to do.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, but I can't give you a specific,
I kind
like
of,
a Running Man. Mm-mm.
based off what you're saying, it sounds like you're a pirouette to a splits.
Yeah, maybe.
You're like,
That might
check
be a
out-
little aggressive.
check out how awesome I am, and also I'm still
I can do
flexible.
this. Yes.
Yes. I'm capable.
I can do this.
Yes.
You can't stop me. Watch me go.
Surprise myself every once in a while, and the girls actually too are like, "What? You can still do that?" I'm like, "Okay, give me a little bit of credit. I'm not totally out of it yet." So, but yeah, I'm more on the teaching side of it now than doing it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never do the splits, so kudos
Yeah,
to you, Krystal.
same.
Kudos.
Same. I have tried. It is
And
not.
I mean, we're talking once a year here too. I'll whip that out and feel pretty confident in it. But
I'm talking never.
I can maybe get like a foot from the floor, and then I'm like, oh, and then I fall to the side.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not
it's
even
funny
close.
how kids nowadays are so flexible. Splits was a big deal when I was younger and in high school. Like that was like one of the top skills, and now it's like if you're 6 and you really don't have your back handspring back tuck, it's like you're kind of below the curve in the competition world. So yeah, these younger kids have the flexibility that I could only dream of having, and the skills, you know, the acro skills and the dancing and the turns and the jumps and things. I'm like, wow, you are 7 and you're doing things that probably high school kids dream about doing too. So it's cool to see the age shift a little bit. And
So it's almost gymnastics too into dance.
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I can't do flips either. They used to make fun of my cartwheels. I don't do those anymore either.
I remember I didn't do the somersault correctly when I was in gymnastics, and yeah, my mom got me out of that because I was not.
Oh no.
My form was just gonna be bad, and it was gonna cause damage.
Oh no.
Put me in a piano instead. Get a flute in her hands.
No, my freshman year of high school, I did cheerleading, and for tryouts, one of the girls did a cartwheel and broke her collarbone, so we weren't allowed to do anything that. So yeah, no flips from Diane.
It's a sport. I think we can declare it here. You heard it first on Engage Williston. Dance is officially a sport.
I love it.
Case closed.
Yes. We just got to get everybody else on board now.
I think after listening to this, they'll agree.
Exactly. I mean, you're combining dance, gymnastics. That is definitely a sport.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll fight all day long for that. So
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Krystal,
man.
Thank you so much for being on our podcast today.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The time flew by, didn't it?
It did fly by.
All right. Well, thank you to our listeners, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.